I'm a bandito. Can you tell? This is gonna be the end of the whole Dima Blurryface trend, Scaled and Icy. This is the last album dealing with that story. So if you're not caught up, you gotta get caught up, and I'm here to get you caught up. Okay? So what even is the name 21 Pilots? What does that even mean? Everyone asks that. They're like, huh? 21 Pilots? Or they're like, where's the other 19? There's only 2 of you guys. So imagine for a second that you're someone who works on airplane parts. You're an airplane parts business boy. You're an airplane business baddie, and it's World War II. So planes, fighter planes, high demand right now. You better step up and get them planes out there. But uh-oh, you did it, you made the planes, but you realized last minute after you've already done all your work, ooh, maybe something's wrong with these plane parts. Maybe you did a little oopsie. And maybe there's a little bit of a safety concern. Whoops, but you already did all that work and you already like have people waiting for your parts, and it's gonna be real embarrassing if you have to call them up and be like, whoopsie daisy, like your pride is gonna get messed up, you're gonna look stupid, and like it's just a little thing, it's not a big deal, so it's probably fine, right? Right. So you send them the faulty plane parts, and 21 pilots die because of it. It's all your fault. You killed 21 pilots because of your inability to be like, I made a mistake, I have integrity, I can admit to my wrongdoings. You didn't do that, you killed 21 pilots. Dang. And now that guilt is all on your conscience, you're never gonna be okay again, so you commit suicide. That's what happens in a play called All My Sons by Arthur Miller. And that's where the name 21 Pilots came from. So if you were jumping right in blind to the 21 Pilots lore, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be like, what in tarnation are all of these things? Here I am, gonna help you. Happy to. What? So I'm doing this video right now because we just learned about the Clancy album coming soon. We just got the Overcompensate video. It's a great time to be a skeleton clicky queen. So this storyline is covered over 4 albums. We have Blurryface, Trench, Scaled and Icy, and now we're about to have Clancy. So Blurryface album, it drops in 2015. So the Blurryface album cover has 9 circles in a 3x3 grid. So I don't have the Blurryface album, so I can't show you in person, but you know how albums always have these little booklets with the lyrics in them? In the Blurryface album, each lyric page had a pattern on it that corresponded with the patterns on the 9 circles on the front of the album. So we found that each circle could correspond with a song. So overall, what the Blurryface album is about is Tyler deep diving into the parts of himself that he doesn't like. So it's about insecurity and fears and self-loathing, things like that. Blurryface as a character is kind of a personification of this insecurity. So we kind of have this thing where there's Tyler and there's Blurryface. And they're 2 separate entities, and Tyler's kind of fighting against Blurryface because Blurryface is his negative side. So they're both Tyler, but it's a separate part of Tyler. In the songs, you can specifically tell when Blurryface is talking because he has a really deep voice. So like he'll pop in the song and be like, yo, it's me, Blurryface. Here's some reasons that life is bad. Take that, Tyler. And Tyler's like, wah. In the music videos, whenever Blurryface has like taken Tyler over and now Tyler is being Blurryface, he gets red eyes. So you know. Symbolism, baby. One of the defining traits of Blurryface as an era and as an album is the black neck and the black hands. It's present in all of the music videos from the album. And it's been revealed that Tyler has said that his biggest insecurities come from what he says and what he creates. So that's represented by the neck and the hands. So when Blurryface is taking over, he feels like his hands and neck are kind of suffocated. He can't use them properly. He doesn't feel secure in what he's doing. So in other words, the black neck and hands symbolizes restricting creativity because of insecurities. Because, you know, you create with your hands, you sing with your throat, you do your gosh darndest to be a boppin' boy. You're not gonna be a bangin', boppin', sweet little music man if you don't have creativity. And Blurryface is a threat to creativity. And that's why you need your neck to make some songs, and you need your hands to create things. You need them. I mean, I guess you don't. If you don't have hands, you can still create things. This is a pro people without hands video. If you don't have hands, I love you. Basically, it's hard to create things without hands, and it's hard to be a beatin', bangin', boppin' boy if you don't have a throat and you can't sing. Our boy's a singer, he needs that throat. So this is really all that I have for the Blurryface part of the story. I'm sure if you ask like a die-hard, lore-searching 21 Pilots fan, they could tell you a lot. They're probably like, hello, you're missing so much. But to me, when we're not trying to dive too deep, I feel like things really start to pick up with Trench and then start to tie back into Blurryface. But just Blurryface on its own doesn't have a whole lot. It is worth mentioning, I think, that during the Blurryface era, we had a Twitter account that was the official Blurryface account, and this Twitter account was kind of wild, kind of wacky, and a little bit silly, okay? From what I've seen, the Blurryface tweets, I wasn't there for this. I was a casual Blurryface listener who didn't know anything about the lore or this alternate character. I was just like, dang, fun songs. So, wasn't here for this. But my understanding is that the Blurryface Twitter would post really cryptic, angry, weird, erratic messages in all caps. Sometimes they would have like hidden messages in them. They were always like insecure, anti-Tyler kind of tweets, like, Tyler, your music sucks, you dingus. He never tweeted that. That was a lie. But, you know, it was just things that were like, Tyler, you're worthless. But in a more cryptic, repetitive, emo way. Yeah, Blurryface is an emo baddie for sure. There was also a situation where Blurryface leaked the album early, like the Twitter account leaked the album early, and then Tyler was like, hey, do you guys think my music is good? And then the Blurryface account was like, no. So Blurryface is Tyler's insecurity. So Blurryface is Tyler being like, my album's not good enough. You get it. So I'm sure that was a really fun time. I wasn't there. Blurryface would like DM fans and stuff. Like, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing, and I don't know much. So I don't even know why I'm still talking about it. But now you know all about that. Congratulations, you have new information, and now you'll never forget it unless you do. What's that? It's a new era on the horizon. Isn't that fun? We're about to get into the Dima stuff. We're kind of already in the Dima stuff, but we don't know it yet, and we're about to get slapped with some Dima. So when is the first time that we hear about Dima? I'm pretty sure that the first time we hear about Dima is in 2017. 21 Pilots won an award for the most dedicated fan base at the APMA Awards. I don't know what APMA stands for, so if the last letter is awards, then I said awards twice. Let's find out together, shall we? Well, it's the American Podiatric Medical Association. I'm sure that's what we're talking about, and not something irrelevant and unrelated. Thanks for watching my video. I feel like it's very high quality. Dang, that sure is funny. I googled APMA award and it still brought up the American Podiatric Medical Association. Apparently they give out awards, but also it's the Alternative Press Music Awards. So when I said APMA award, I said Alternative Press Music Awards Award. He won an APMA, that's all. No award at the end. So the first mention of Dima might have been in 2017 at the American Press Music Awards. Alternative Press Music Awards for Most Dedicated Fan Base. Tyler couldn't be there to receive the award, so Josh Dunn went up and got that award, and here's what he had to say to the crowd.
Tyler wishes he could be here. He's actually off severing ties with Dima.
Where's Tyler? Dima? Severing ties with Dima? What is Dima? So the whole world was like, what in tarnation is a Dima? And by the whole world, I mean probably not that many people, but some people were like, what? Dima? So a little while later, we have a new little Easter egg. If you looked on the Vessel merch page, which Vessel is a different album that I think I've seen a little bit of speculation of it tying in with the story too, but it's not a lot, so I didn't decide to cover Vessel. But there's a few tie-ins like lyrically with the songs, like there'll be a reference in a Trench song to a Vessel song, but other than that it's not really in the story, I don't think. So it's kind of random that it was on the Vessel merch page, but anyway, on the Vessel merch page there was a GIF. Just the guys being bros, I guess. I saw it and I don't remember. I don't know. Josh is probably drumming and it's just like some sick footage of them performing or something. And within this GIF, for a split second, there's like a glitched out version of a website URL. And if you entered this URL into your little computer, you would find yourself on a web page. So when you go to this web page, you get a 404 error page. And under the 404 error, you get a message that says something along the lines of like, you shouldn't be here, they can't know you were here, stuff like that. And then at the bottom, there's a violation code with a bunch of numbers after it. Within that error message also, we have a bit of a little fun code going on with the letters. There are some capital letters sprinkled in there, and if you pull out the capital letters, they say, East is up. Pause for dramatic effect. East is up is a thing that's gonna come up later, but this is our first time hearing East is up. It's there. Cool. Anyway, the violation code that was the string of numbers at the end, if you add that to the website URL to the end of it, it takes you to another page. And this new page is loaded with some fun content. We get a cool map thing. A very cool and fun and neat map situation. We got a picture of some child. Just a kiddo. Just a guy. We got some vultures chilling. We have a thing that says, identified as failed perimeter escape by Dima Council, violation of blah 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 blah, Violus Code of Conduct. What does that even mean? We'll find out. It's fine. Don't worry. And then we have a fun and cool letter. This letter is from a boy named Clancy. Just a guy. Just some dude. And he's talking about how he's been in Dima, and after 9 years of being in Dima, he's starting to question it. He wasn't questioning it, and now he is. He's like, this Dima place, kind of sketch. What is going on? Why am I even here? Clancy's letter talks about how he had security and routine and comfort from Dima, but now he's starting to question, is it really such a good place? It's been 9 years, but now, I don't know. This is also where we first hear about a character named Keons. We don't know who he is yet, but he seems to be a pretty okay guy. Clancy talks kind of highly of him. He talks about how he's gentle and cool. He doesn't say he's cool. I'm saying he's cool. It's not the same. He had focus. He was unwavering and gentle and kind, and Clancy respects him highly, it would seem. Clancy says that he feels honored to be in Keons' region, which we'll figure out what exactly that means. We find out that Keons is a bishop and that Clancy lives in his region. There are other bishops that he doesn't know personally, but he's heard that they are much more ruthless. So like, what even is this? Who is Clancy? What in tarnation is even going on right now? So intermittently, this website would continue getting updates. So sometimes there'd be new pictures added. Sometimes we'd get a new little Clancy letter dropped in there. Fun! We got a gif of a cheetah running. Ooh. Some vulture pics. Neat. So yeah, this website was kind of the spot to be if you wanted fun, free, and easy 21 Pilots new album lore. New era coming soon. Here's the lore. Get on that. It's known as the demo website. That's what the folks call it. Okay, if you go to dmaorg.site, you'll find an archive of all of these. So if you want to see them for yourself, you should go see them for yourself. You have the option. You control your own narrative. And I love that for you. I'm stoked for you. Here in this fun, funky little diagram, I've written down all the labels on the circles from the map. I did a really cool and fun job. You can definitely tell that they are circles. So, you'll notice one of them, right here, is Keon's, who we just talked about. So even though we haven't heard any of these other funky names, we can go ahead and assume that they are the other bishops, because we know that Keon's is a bishop and there are other bishops. So these are the bishop boys, and we love them. We don't love them, but we love them. They're the bishop boys. Cool. So surrounding the 3x3 bishops circles, we have districts. Each bishop has a district. Clancy lives in Keon's district. And outside of that, we have the necropolis. And we're gonna get to what the necropolis is later. So then why are these circles the same as the Blurryface cover circles? We can assume that each one corresponds with the Blurryface one. So this circle goes with the circle on the Blurryface cover. But wait, you're missing something really important, which is what was in that hidden message that I told you about, the hidden capitals Clancy letter message. It said, East is up. So, this isn't the order that corresponds with the Blurryface album cover. This is. Each bishop has a circle that corresponds with one of the circles on the Blurryface album cover, and as we said earlier, each circle on the Blurryface album cover corresponded with a Blurryface song. So therefore, each bishop corresponds with a song from the Blurryface album. So for example, Keon's, the one we know, is the top left circle, and the top left circle on the Blurryface album cover corresponds with the song Heavy Dirty Soul. So Keon's song, his song, is Heavy Dirty Soul. And so on for the others. They all have their own fun little song. Obviously, people have gone and found what each song is for each character. There's charts, there's things. I'm gonna include one now. But it goes even deeper, because that's not the only connection that these names have to those tracks. Each of these names is hidden in the lyrics of the corresponding song. So for example, with Keon's, keeping up with the whole Keon's thing, Choke on Smoke is a lyric in the song Heavy Dirty Soul. Another example, Sakarver matches up with the song Tear in My Heart, which has the line, She's a carver. This is true for all of the names except for Nico. There is no Nico in the song Stressed Out. But we're gonna get plenty of Nico later, so don't even worry about it. Nico for days. Blurryface is Tyler's negative side. And the bishops are like subcategories of the negative side. So it's even smaller personifications of each facet of his negative side. And there's speculation as to exactly what each one of the bishops represents, but if you listen to the corresponding song that goes with each bishop, you can find which specific aspect of Tyler that each bishop aligns with. So for example, one of the most obvious songs to decipher what it's really rooted in is the song Lane Boy, which is about fear of success, fear of fame. So we can determine that Vitomo's thing is fame and success and the negative things that come with that. Tear in My Heart is all about vulnerability, specifically vulnerability that comes through relationships and loving people. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can listen to the songs and figure it out for yourself, or you can Google it, because everybody and their mother has already decided what they think they are, and you can find all kind of things, and it's really interesting and cool and fun. A lot of people say that Keon's represents the fear of death, and I can super duper see where they're getting that from because of this part of the song.
Death inspires me like a dog inspires a rabbit.
But I actually disagree, and I'll tell you why. So the running thing throughout the song Heavy Dirty Soul is him saying, "Can you save my heavy dirty soul?
Can you save my heavy dirty soul?"
So it's begging for redemption. It's guilt. It's understanding that you are flawed and you have done wrong things and you don't want to be that way. So I think that's more what Keon's is all about. Someone on Reddit actually said that Keon's was the fear of Blurryface himself, which I really, really like. And later I'll get into why I really, really like that even more. But I do think that that's pretty accurate. I think Keon's represents recognizing your negative side and being down on yourself because of it, which in itself is another negative element of being a person. It's really fun. It's also a positive, but it's also a negative. If you look down on yourself and you only see your flaws, you only see the things you've done wrong, you're riddled with guilt, and you don't use that to build yourself up, but you instead let it take you down even further, then that's just another negative aspect to add to yourself. So that's Keon's. That's our Keon's boy. He's a sad boy. He just wants to be better, but he's not becoming better. He's being a sad boy. Rest in peace. Spoiler alert. So Nico. Nico is basically the leader of the bishops. He's the one. He's the main boy. He's the guy. And he's ruthless. The man is violent. The man will rock your life. The man is a baddie. And we know that Nico is special. First of all, as I said before, he's the only one whose name doesn't show up in the lyrics of the song that he goes with. The song he goes with is Stressed Out, which is the only song on the Blurryface album that actually says Blurryface in it. So Nico is Blurryface. But also, they're all Blurryface. It's a really fun thing in the 21 Pilots lore where everyone is everyone else, and you just have to accept that and be cool with it. So yes, Nico is Blurryface, but all of them are Blurryface. But Nico's like extra Blurryface, kind of a little bit. It's notable that the bishops, who are Blurryface, wear hoods over their faces that make their faces literally blurry. So those are the bishop boys. We love the bishop boys, big fan. So in this story, colors play a pretty big role. Blurryface is red. The bishops wear red. Dima, red stuff, okay? The Blurryface album is red, the Trench album is yellow, and the new Clancy album is a mixture of both. In the story, red represents the negative side of Tyler, so the bishops, Blurryface, and yellow represents the positive, hope, happiness. The banditos wear yellow, the yellow flowers, yellow is hope, yellow is the good parts of Tyler, the good things in Tyler's life. We also have blue, and blue has been confirmed to represent defeat. But whose defeat? Could be the defeat of good things, but it could also be the defeat of Dima, of Blurryface, of the bad things. We don't know yet. The number 9 is also really, really present in the Dima story stuff. We have the 9 bishops, we have 9 circles, we have 9 towers. Clancy started questioning his living situation in Dima after 9 years. There's some other ones. I think Trench or Dima or something was announced 9 years into 21 Pilots existing. There was like a 9-month hiatus. There's a bunch of 9s. It's all 9s. So what is Dima? That's important. We all want to know, what incarnation are you even talking about when you say Dima? Ooh, confusion. Explain. Here's your explanation, okay? Dima is a city in the country of Trench. Dima is meant to be inescapable. You don't leave. No one leaves. Its full title is the Sacred Municipality of Dima. It is a theocracy that practices vialism. What's vialism, you might ask? Well, it's really fun. Basically, it's just a religion that glorifies suicide. Isn't that fun? Like, they're not just running around like, hey, you know it'd be really super fun? Kill yourself. Like, it's not, like, lighthearted, funny, like, go die. It's like a nice, somber, real serious religion. United Vialists believe that self-destruction is the only way to get to paradise. This is particularly explored in the song Neon Gravestones, where Tyler's kind of just like, hey, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't glorify that. Maybe don't do that. Maybe leave that all alone. Let's not. In this society, in this city, there are the glorified, who are kind of like the chosen ones. They're the ones who are so devoted, and they've decided that they're going to be the ones who commit suicide for the cause. And then we have the glorious gone, which is the name that's given to those who have already committed suicide. Important vocab. Write it down, take notes. There will be a quiz at the end of the video. There's not a quiz at the end of the video, these are lies. Remember when I said I was going to talk about the things around the map? The necropolis? Yeah, that's where the neon gravestones of the glorious gone go. It's pretty morbid. The bishops have a really cool and fun talent that we haven't talked about yet. It's a bit of a secret. No one in Dima except the bishops knows about it. They have this power that's known as psychokinesis, where they can use the dead bodies of the citizens as sort of vessels and project themselves into those bodies for a limited amount of time. There are theories that through doing this, they're able to kind of feed off of the energy of the recently dead, and if they do that enough, it basically allows them to be immortal. So that's kind of their ulterior motive here. It's not about glory. It's not about any kind of paradise. It's, we need more bodies, so we made up a religion to feed off of these naive people who think that what they're doing is good and right, but really it's not. We have an annual assemblage of the glorified, and at this assemblage of the glorified, you guessed it, the glorified assemble. This is this yearly ceremony where the chosen glorified have their little last hurrah before they end things. We see this in the Nico and the Niners music video, where they're doing a fun and funky little glass-blowing montage, making their neon gravestones that will end up being the gravestones for these people. Cool. I believe in some of the maybe Clancy letters or some of the lore somewhere, also it says that Dima doesn't get the sun, it's kind of shielded away, and there's no real light sources in the city aside from these neon gravestones, so it's also possible that people feel like by becoming a glorious gone, they're doing a service to the city by providing light. So this is kind of maybe like a metaphor for how mental illness and depression and the negative things in your brain can make you think that just ending it all is the right thing to do. It's tricking you, don't listen to it. So Dima really is just a metaphor for a lot of things. Religion, mental illness, depression, just the human condition in general, the good and bad in life that we all have. But overall, in the narrative, Dima is a metaphor for Tyler's inner struggles in the same way that Blurryface, the bishops, it's all the same. It's all part of this big, overarching world that Tyler has created to explore his inner mind. Dima is like an evil organization that represents both the bad things in ourselves and the bad things in society as a whole. Zoroastrianism. Have you heard of it? I hadn't. Apparently, it's a religion, and it's real old. It's a monotheistic religion that originated in ancient Persia. And I don't know much about it, but I do know one cool and fun thing, which is that it had this practice thing utilizing the Towers of Silence. So in Zoroastrianism, they had a sort of ritual structure known as a Tower of Silence. And the Tower of Silence is where they throw up dead bodies so that scavengers, vultures, things would pick at them until they were just bones, and then they would discard the bones in trenches. This parallels quite nicely with Dima because Dima is a city that's made up of 9 towers, and it fits in with the themes of death, suicide. Skeletons are a big thing in 21 Pilots. Vultures are a big part of the trench aesthetic. It's literally the cover of the album is a vulture. So, they can't be a coincidence. We know that there's something here. There's some kind of connection going on. Might just be an inspiration. Might just be a cool, fun little tie. But it's definitely a thing to know about, and now you know it. That was a nice little website that lets you do a Bandito interactive experience. And I did it, and it's gone now, I think. The website essentially teaches you what these symbols mean. Those 5 symbols on the cover, you get a cute little description of each one if you find them on the website. We have the jumpsuit medallion, which is a map of trench. We have the compass E pitchfork, which is supposed to be representative of east is up, and also pitchfork weapon. We have the classic 21 Pilots logo, modified a little bit for trenchness. We have a fun vulture friend. I'm gonna read to you what they said about the vulture because I think it's nice. They said, "We are vultures. The vulture sees both worlds, devouring death. A symbol of our responsibility to turn death into life. May we learn from what we've lost and commit to living." Lastly, we have the FPE badge. And that stands for the few, the proud, and the emotional. Another fun thing is that on the bottom of the CD, it says failed perimeter escape, which is clearly something that the bishops have put out. FPE comes up more times. There's actually several FPE acronyms that have come out. Some others are fine pool equipment, which ties in with the chlorine video, also featured performance event, and food, petrol, etc. Can be seen on a shop in the back of one of the Scaled and Icy performances. Do you know Nico's full name? It's Nicholas Bourbaki. Why does he have a whole long name? All the other bishops don't. What is Nicholas Bourbaki? Weird, right? Well, if you Google it, you'll find some fun and cool information. So Nicholas Bourbaki is a group of 9 mathematicians who published their works under that pseudonym. Another 9. A lot of 9s going on, have you noticed? They are credited with creating the empty set symbol, or the null sign, which is like the O with a line through it, which is in the 21 Pilots logo. But why are we using this name specifically? What does it represent? What does it mean? It comes up in a song. We have a song called Nico and the Niners specifically referencing him. So clearly, Nicholas Bourbaki means something. What does it mean? I know. You want to know? So those 9 math bros, nerds am I right, named themselves after a guy named Charles Denis Bourbaki. And he was a French general. From my understanding, he was a pretty good general. Until he wasn't. He made a mistake, and a lot of men died. Like a lot. He lost a lot of men, he was humiliated, he couldn't take it, he tried to commit suicide. So does this remind you of anything? Somebody making a big mistake, it resulting in the loss of lives, being overridden with guilt and trying to end it all. This is basically just a different version of the story of the play about the 21 pilots. This story does have a bit of a different ending though, because when Charles Denis Bourbaki attempted to commit suicide, he went to shoot himself in the head, but somehow the bullet just flattened right against his skull and didn't kill him. He was fine, which, wild. How does that even happen? What is your head made of? I don't understand, sir, but congrats, I'm happy for you. Another fun fact is that his army was called the Army of the East, which might be a tie-in to the whole East is Up thing. Nicholas Bourbaki, the math group, is also credited with the theory of topology, which is the idea that you can mold and morph something as much as you want, to your heart's desire, but they're still gonna be the original thing that they always were. You've just moved the components around. So Nicholas Bourbaki is a single name for a collective group of mathematicians in the same way that Tyler is a collective for Blurryface, Nico, Clancy, the Bishops, Dima, all of it is Tyler. Neds, they're my favorite part of anything. I'm in love with the Neds. Let's talk about Neds. So Neds are these sweet little guys. They have little antlers, they're little buds, they got big eyes, they're fun friends. They're kind of jackalope in a way. And they're really mostly just very cute. And we love that about them. But there's something else about the Neds that's pretty important to this lore, which is their antlers, which can be used to take over dead bodies. Why can they do that? I don't know, but that's how the Bishops do it. They have Ned antlers, not attached to a Ned, they just have the antlers, and they do their little magical antler ceremony, and then they can take over dead bodies. So yeah, the antlers come from Neds. Something that I find really important, this is vital and you have to listen, okay? They're all named Ned. So an individual is not a Ned, it's just Ned. So every single one of them is Ned. And I think that's beautiful, actually. We see a very cute and fun little note in the back of Ned's cozy fireplace, which is like, Ned, I saw Clancy and Torchbearer, love Ned. Isn't that so cute? We love Neds. We first see Ned in the Chlorine music video, where he's a little pool guy. Ned grows antlers once he does a swim. Basically, the little homie thrives in water. Me too, Ned. Me too. One can assume that the reason that he grew the antlers in the water was because of the chlorine, just because the name of the video is Chlorine, so it matches the vibe. But, I don't really exactly get where that's going. Once he leaves the water, they go away again. I'm a little confused about it. But that's Ned in the Chlorine music video. In an interview, Tyler has confirmed that the Neds represent creativity. So, the Neds are Tyler's creative side. There was a little pop-up shop in Ohio called Ned's Bayou that sold Ned merch, and I think that was just a little one-time thing, but also I'm googling it and it says it's open currently, so maybe you can go buy some Ned merch yourself, check it out, have fun, embrace Ned. It's very cool and important to note that the Neds live on an island known as Voldsoy. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. I believe it's a Norwegian word, but it means violence. Yes, you heard that right. The Neds live on Violence Island. They're so cute. NED stands for Neuro Expansion Device, which makes sense because of their antler psychokinesis powers. Just another fun and cool word for that. Lore through the music videos, shall we? First of all, there's a little bit of debate as to where the music video storyline starts. Some people think that it starts with the Heathens music video, and some people super don't. And this makes sense because Heathens isn't one of the songs that was in one of their albums. This was a side project that was specifically created for the Suicide Squad movie, which I heard was real bad. But it's a great song, it's a banger of a tune, and the music video does kind of thematically line up with the Trench, Dima, Bishop's Everything Blurryface storyline in some ways. Let's talk about those ways right now. Why don't we do that? Let's go. So in the video, Tyler is so sad. He's in jail. He would like to leave jail. Jail's not a very fun place, I hear. He's like, please God, can I go? The video is interspersed with fun clips from Suicide Squad. They mean literally nothing to me. I've never seen that movie. I don't know anything about the Suicide Squad. It's a squad and they do some suiciding, I suppose. Happy for them. Hope they're having a good day. Anyway, Tyler wants to not be in jail. Presumably. Tyler's being all sad in the jail. He's like, dang, I'm in jail. Anyway, he comes up to Josh. And Josh, the mad lad, he's just drumming away. And we love that. We love that he's a drummer. We are a big fan of drumming Josh Boy drummer. Good times, great times. So of course, Tyler, inspired by Josh's sick beats, decides, I'm gonna sing a song now. And he rips his jumpsuit off and he's wearing a cool yellow jacket. And then all the people in the jail come out and it's kind of like a fun jailbreak situation while Tyler sings his little song. So some themes in this video. Let's go. Yellow, jumpsuit, breaking out of a prison, and getting help from friends to get out of hard situations. Josh was the inspiration for Tyler to step up and get out of that prison. And we love that. Very sweet. Good boy Josh. He does get re-jailified at the end, like it's kind of revealed like this was all in his head and he's actually just still in jail or something. So fail on his part, but like he's got the spirit. So you'll see how these things match up with Trench later, but may or may not actually be in this story. Kind of a separate thing, debatable. So most of the music videos from the Blurryface album fit the lore, but don't really go into the actual narrative of the overarching story. So they have the neck and the hands, the dark neck and hands, and the red eyes whenever Blurryface comes out, but they're mostly just like some dudes doing some singing. Not entirely. There's like, they have their own little stories and things in them, but they don't fit the overarching narrative. The first song that goes into the overarching narrative, the music video for Heavy Dirty Soul, which is the Keon song, as previously discussed. Tyler's riding in the back of a car. He's a backseat boy. He's just kind of chilling in the back, singing his cute little song. The car's on fire. Important. The car's not really on fire, but it's like sparking the whole time. And we keep seeing Josh doing his little drumsies. He's being a drummer boy again. He's got yellow hair. Yellow. 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 Good to know. Keep in mind. And eventually the whole car just like full on catches on fire and burns, and it's a flaming mess of a car. And that's really all there is to this music video. Not a lot to say on Heavy Dirty Soul music video. Prove me wrong, drop a comment. But now we're getting our first music video from the Trench album. It's for Jumpsuit, and boy is it a bop. So the end of the Heavy Dirty Soul music video, after the car's on fire and full on wrecked, It then cuts back to Tyler just being in the backseat of a car, like riding silently. So the thought there is that it's all in his head. So you're supposed to be like, okay, the car burning wasn't real. He's just daydreaming in the back of the car about fire. Don't we all dream about fire? So then we have the jumpsuit music video, and it opens immediately on the car on fire from Heavy Dirty Soul. And you're like, hold on, friendo, I thought that was all in his head. And then Tyler looks at the camera and he says, we've been here the whole time, you were asleep, time to wake up. So I think we're going into Tyler's head and the world of his peoples. His brain guys. He's got some guys in his brain, he's got some dudes in his head. And we're going into their world, which, at least for Tyler, is kind of just as real as this world, yeah? So, new world, who dis? Car world is the real world now. Fire car is real and not fire car is fake. We don't care about you. We care about burning cars and trenches. Forget the car. We're leaving the car. Tyler goes on a nice little adventure through a trench. A physical, geographical landscape trench. Tyler's on the run. He's on the run from his bishop, who's Nico. And Nico is on a sick white horse. He's got this cool ass red robe situation going on, and he's zooming through this trench that Tyler is currently in. He catches up to Tyler, and he kind of puts Tyler under his spell. He's like, hello, Tyler. Welcome to my spell. And it makes Tyler's neck go all black, just like in the Blurryface era stuff. And he's like, alright, Mr. Nico, I will stop running and I will go with you. This is fun and great and I'm very happy. It's actually a little more somber than that, but it's fine. He kind of just slowly walks back with Nico until he notices some yellow flowers growing in the ground, and it kind of snaps him out of it for a second. Kind of a representation of hope, happiness, everything that Dima and the bishops are not. And then he looks up and he sees the banditos all lining up along the cliff edge looking down at him. Through the letters you can learn that the banditos, he's heard of them, there's rumors of them, but this is the first time he's ever actually seen a bandito. And they're coming up on the cliffs. So while the bishops represent the bad sides of Tyler and Dima, the banditos are the good, the powering through and getting out of bad situations, the lifting each other up, the escape. They wear yellow because yellow is the sign of the good guys. Yellow is the hope, yellow is the light, yellow is the freedom. The banditos start throwing yellow petals down into the trench over Tyler and Nico. And this basically breaks that spell that Nico put on Tyler and made the black on his neck go away and made him turn and run. So he's like, it's like, hell yeah, get out of there, boy. But then we have a little oopsie moment where Tyler trips and falls and gets caught anyway, and the end. The Nico drags him, his unconscious body back. The next music video is Nico and the Niners. This opens up with some cryptic backwards singing. And if you play it backwards, it says, we are banditos. You will leave Dima and head true east. We denounce vialism. We are banditos. So that's a fun, funky little coded message for you all. And now you know it. So we see Tyler, he's back in his place at Dima, his little sad gray room of sadness. Dima doesn't seem like a very fun place to be. It seems dark, sad, gray, boring, depressing. Boo. He still has a little yellow flower from his fun escape journey and he puts it in his rad little flower drawer. So we see him put it in a drawer that's already got some yellow flowers in it, which means this isn't the first time that this has happened. He's got a routine of escaping, getting the flower, almost making it out, maybe, and then getting caught again. So it's also important to note that at this point, Tyler is really the only one in Dima who's kind of waking up to what's going on around him and deciding, you know what, I don't think I like this, I want to get away. So everyone else is still kind of content with the life that they're living. They're kind of brainwashed. They don't realize that this place is wrong, this place is sketchy, we should leave. They're cool with it. I already mentioned this a little bit, but we see the annual assemblage of the glorified going on, and the bishops are making neon gravestones, gathering the people who are gonna do a sacrifice situation. Kind of just looks like a cute little glass blowing craft activity group project, crafty boys. We love the bishops for their fun, artistic, light creations. So that goes on. At the same time, we get a little rescue. Clancy has been returned to Dima, and the banditos actually come for him this time. So instead of him having to escape on his own, the banditos have come. They've said, let us get out of here, buddy. And so they get him out of there. At the end of the video, as Tyler makes his escape, we see two kids watching him go, and they pick up his jacket that he's dropped that's got the yellow tape on it. It kind of represents that people are maybe finally starting to be inspired by Tyler and waking up to what's going on around them and how it might not be the best place to be. In the Levitate music video, the banditos bring Tyler back to their base, their camp, their spot, and they kind of start to teach him their ways. He likes it there, he fits in, it's good, and then the cycle kind of continues where the bishops come and they get him in the end again and take him back to Dima. The cycle is too strong! According to some of the letters that get published on the Dima website, Tyler really loves being there at this bandito camp. It feels like a home to him, he finally feels alive, he sees new colors, new plants, new things he's never seen before, and it's really beautiful to him. And he also kind of gets a new sympathy for the other citizens of Dima. He kind of opens his heart to them a little. He realizes that they don't know that they're in this situation, that they're still brainwashed. He recognizes that they don't realize anything is wrong yet. The banditos do shave his head, which I think is like the biggest tragedy of the whole saga, honestly. Like, being trapped in a terrible brainwashing little institution, that's fine. Don't shave my head. There's also a reference to the song Car Radio from the Vessel album, where he says that he's gotten back what was lost in that slot. Fill that void! Let's talk about some other music videos that aren't really part of the main lore. The Chlorine music video, once again, this is our first time seeing Ned, my favorite little boy. The 21 Pilots pals are pool boys. Do you like plaid? Are you a fan of plaid? Then you'll love the Hype music video. A video in which everyone starts wearing more and more plaid. Ned's there, he's wearing plaid, the funky lad that he is. We get to go into Tyler's chest, we just slide right in, it's awesome. Don't worry guys, we are out of trench. What a relief. Scaled and Icy came out in 2021 and it was a total vibe flip. Banger after banger, super pop, super retro, very fun. Not trench at all. And basically the whole album just kind of sounds like a good time. Surprise, it's not a good time and we are still in trench and it's all lies. Welcome to propaganda. So let's rewind a little bit, okay? So, 21 Pilots put out a scavenger hunt online game back in 2020. And the first 500 people who were able to complete this scavenger hunt got a cute little flash drive in the mail. And on that flash drive, they got the song Level of Concern And there was also a fun little hidden message in the background in code that said, Clancy is dead. So after that, as I said, when Scaled and Icy comes out, it doesn't match the Trench vibes at all. It's very colorful, it's very pop, it's very nostalgic, kind of retro-y, fun, cool, nice bangers. It's very happy, upbeat, but there's a dark side. Some little hints that something's off, something's not right, pop up everywhere. Fans were pretty quick to put together that Clancy is dead is actually an anagram of Scaled and Icy. So, we know that we haven't just moved into a new album and left Trench behind. There's still connections. They keep popping up. What's going on here? On the cover of Scaled and Icy, we have a cool looking dragon. And guess what? You're gonna love this dragon's name. This dragon's name is Trash. I'm so happy that the dragon's name is Trash. It's truly my favorite piece of 21 Pilots lore out of all of the 21 Pilots lore. Trash the dragon. Tyler also made a fun little remark that in Dima, vultures are called trash dragons. So that's another cute little tie-in with Trash the dragon. Tyler had a little dragon figurine in his studio, and so he would look at it all the time, and it kind of just became a part of his narrative. He started including it. It became a part of his creative process. Tyler said in an interview that if you pick something in the room to focus on, it can come to life. It can begin flying around the room if you're creative and you focus on it enough. So that's how Trash came to be. The design of Trash that is on the cover of Scaled and Icy is actually not original to that album. It's actually taken from a children's picture book. This is from a story called The Fairy Queen by Walter Crane. Among other things, the story is about a knight whose name is Redcross and his quest to defeat the Dragon of Despair. He also has to defeat a character who's literally named Despair, who basically is perfect foil for the whole Blurryface, Bishop's, Nico situation. So there's just a lot of tie-ins. I'm not going to go more into them, but there are very many, and it is quite interesting. So yes, among the fun and vibrant vibes that this album has, there are little hints of darkness everywhere. One of those is that if you look on the cover of the album, among Trash's dragon scales, you can see the word destroy. There's also a little map among the scales that shows the street named Clancy Street in Ohio, which is the street that Tyler, I think, grew up on, and it's named Clancy. So together they make Destroy Clancy. Once you start actually listening to the lyrics of the songs on Scaled and Icy, you see an undertone. It's kind of very corporate and like fake happy. Like, hey guys, everything's okay. Don't even worry about what's going on. Everything is fine and we're all happy here. Like, it's sketchy, it's off. Every now and then a line will be thrown in that's very against that sentiment. It's very clear that this is a facade of happiness, and behind it, there's a lot of not happiness. There are problems, we want to get out of here, sometimes we get a scream every now and then. One example is the song Mulberry Street, which opens with him going, "Keep your bliss, there's nothing wrong with this." So it's like, obviously, if nothing was wrong, you wouldn't be like, there's nothing wrong with this, like, it's fine, just stay happy, like, it's obvious. So why a dragon? Dragons are known in stories for hoarding gold. They represent capitalism, society, greed, things like that. So they're kind of a stand-in for the exploitative system that is in Trench. Because if you haven't figured it out yet, we have not left Trench. We're still very much in Trench. Nothing's okay. It's all lies. Mulberry Street is also probably a nod to the nursery rhyme Mulberry Bush, which was actually created by prisoners. So the real behind-the-scenes reason that Scaled and Icy exist is actually because of COVID. So Tyler and Josh couldn't do tours, they couldn't do a big second installment of the Trench saga, So they wanted to do something that could be filmed in a small place. They wanted to do a bit of an in-between album that wouldn't need touring, wouldn't need as much production, and so Scaled and Icy came to be, and I think it actually worked out really well, because it's a very different style of music for them, and it was very fun and good, I think. It was very good banger songs that they have an excuse to be able to put in there that they probably wouldn't have done if not for this. So we're happy. So within the lore, basically what's happening is Scaled and Icy is made up of the songs that Tyler sings during a performance put together by the bishops as propaganda for the rest of the residents of Dima. The reason that they do this is because Tyler's gotten out so many times and gotten recaught that he's kind of made a name for himself. He's starting to create an image, and people are starting to notice, and they're starting to be like, yeah, maybe Dima isn't great, and we want to leave too. So the bishops want to put a stop to that right now. So they yoinked Tyler, and they were like, hey buddy, you can't be doing that, and you're gonna start spouting propaganda on our side or else. And they force him to perform this big show, which becomes the Scaled and Icy live stream, which you could watch. I didn't watch it, but they actually put out a Scaled and Icy full performance live stream situation. I've seen clips of it, I haven't seen the whole thing, but it's apparently jam-packed with Easter eggs, 4 days. They're all over. You can find entire videos on YouTube dedicated to every Easter egg that was in this live stream. It's very interesting. You should check it out. Very cool. The premise for this live stream is that Tyler is performing on Good Day Dima, which is kind of like a morning talk show vibe kind of thing. It's hosted by two reporters named Dan Lisden and Susan Secarver, and if you recognize those names, good job, because Lisden and Secarver are two of the bishops that we talked about earlier. And throughout the entire live stream, it keeps cutting back and forth between the performances and everything and these two reporters, and as that goes on, we see them becoming more and more gross. They start rotting right before our eyes. Their eyes start turning red, their faces get all warped. It's really cool. So basically what's going on is you can infer that these are two dead bodies, two glorious gone, who have been taken over by Lisden and Secarver, but as we said before, they can't take these bodies over forever. There's a finite amount of time that they can take these bodies over before they can't anymore, and we see that they're actively running out of time before our eyes, and the bodies are just decaying in front of us. Anytime during the live stream where a song would start talking about freedom, personal power, rebellion, the songs would cut off, there would be some kind of distortion. So basically the whole live stream was a combination of fun performances and also a lot of lore. It has also been confirmed that Scaled and Icy is actually short for Scaled Back and Isolated. So if you're a big 21 Pilots lore looking kind of person, it's been very obvious from the start that this album is just more trench, it's all propaganda, none of it's real, but that was not so obvious to casual listeners, of which I was one. So people actually were pretty upset about this album, I think. A lot of people listened to it and were like, this isn't the 21 Pilots I know, and it's fun and all, but it's just not what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a 21 Pilots album. Which, fair, but a lot of people were actually pretty mean about it. They were like, Tyler usually writes about all this sad, angsty stuff, and now he's writing about happy stuff, and we hate that. And I don't know, a little rude, let the man be happy, I don't know. We have a new symbol for this album that isn't the typical 21 Pilots, lines thing. It's a psi, which I believe is a Greek letter, and it looks like this. And it looks eerily like the East is Up symbol that we got from Trench, so I think that it actually is a nod to that. But it also is a weapon, It also is pronounced Sai, which is like S-A-I, Scaled and Icy, Sai. I also believe that Psi, the Greek letter, has something to do with the etymology of psychology, psychic, words like that. So it could be a nod to the psychokinesis power that the bishops have. And this is a pretty wild thing. Apparently, Trash the Dragon, the image on the cover of Scaled and Icy of Trash the Dragon, can be seen in the Blurryface album cover. If you really do some photo altering, like it's very obviously the eyes matching up on the background of Blurryface. I will show you here. I didn't believe this at first. I was like, somebody just did that just to say it and like get viral. But it's true. Apparently confirmed. Trash was on the Blurryface album cover. So this was all planned ahead, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. It's weird. I don't quite understand. Yeah. And the line Scaled Back and Isolated is found in one of the songs. It's found in Redecorate. So you can hear it and know for sure that that is in fact what Scaled and Icy means.
I repeat, scaled back and isolated.
It's Christmas time, and 21 Pilots has blessed us with a Christmas banger for our listening pleasure.
Rest assured, Christmas saves the year.
It's called Christmas Saves the Year, and you know what? We can't even get a cute little Christmas song without some kind of Easter egg drop. Here's the drop. The picture that goes with the song Christmas Saves the Year is a picture of Tyler as a little child Christmasing it up. And if you look in the background on one of the presents, there is a hidden message. It's a gift from Clancy, and it says, SAI is propaganda. And this actually came out before Scaled and Icy did. So people that really noticed, they knew way ahead of the album that something's off here. This is all still the trench situation. Watch out. So we have some music videos that don't really fit into the lore. They're just fun and nice. And here they are. In Shy Away, we get this super cool hairstyle. I'm 100% serious. I really like it. Men, take notes. And then the choker video is really funny to me because Tyler comes into this little store and he's like, please God, I really just want to buy this little dragon. And Josh just keeps drumming away, fully ignoring him. Watch this man drum. Little Easter egg, if you'll notice, the book that Josh is reading in this video is by Nicholas Bourbaki. And there's a Ned on the window. The Christmas Saves the Year video is basically just a cute little claymation. Not a lot to say about it, but there is a Ned. There's a Ned at the end. Love Ned. Favorite. So like based on what we've seen so far, what do you think the Saturday music video is gonna be like? What do you think's in that? That's right, it's submarine time. It's a rootin' tootin' submarine adventure. So the lore here is that after the Scaled and Icy live stream was such a hit and really got those Trench Dima residents fired up for vialism and staying in Dima, the bishops were like, yes, Tyler, this worked. We're gonna have you perform again. And they send Tyler on a fun submarine adventure for the next annual assemblage of the Glorified, which we saw in the Nico and the Niners video, but this time they're doing it on a submarine. Just cause, I don't know, why not? Because of the smashing success of the live stream, the bishops were like, let's have a submarine party. Tyler and Josh come perform. So the bishops don't go on the submarine themselves. They send bishop imposters. Bishposters. And so basically they control bodies that are like, they dress them like bishops and they're like, yeah guys, we're literally definitely here, even though they really weren't definitely there. They're chilling at home while the submarine does some subbing. And these bishposters were supposed to make sure that everything was going smoothly. everything did not go smoothly. Things went very unsmoothly because what's that? A dragon swimming through the sea. So Trash attacked the ship and nearly drowned everyone. Tyler and Josh and some other people are floating in the water. It's not great. I mean, debatable. Debatable, truly. So next, the Outside music video comes out. And it opens with some visuals of Trash the Dragon, the 9 bishops, and Keon's controlling the dragon from the center. He's got the antlers, he's doing the control. And actually, what happened here is that Keon's went against the other bishops to control Trash and sabotage this submarine adventure. And so the other 8 bishops start killing Keon's. They just start stabbing Julius Caesar style. The man is dead. And as the yellow of his eyes fade, the dragon's eyes also fade, and he goes back to being dead, because apparently Trash was just dead this whole time, and he falls to the bottom of the ocean, never to be seen again. Very sad. Rest in peace, Trash, forever in our hearts. So this is me jumping in from the future, because I meant to say that this is what I was talking about earlier with Keon's. This is why I think that he represents sort of the antithesis to the whole Blurryface thing, where his fear is Blurryface itself. And in the end, he does end up going against the rest of the bishops and being a major turning point in this whole Tyler Bishop's conflict. I don't know why I'm doing the hand things, but there you go. So yeah, that's all. So Clancy / Tyler, it's all a little confusing now. They're the same person. We're gonna say he's Clancy now. It's Clancy, I guess. I don't know. He washes up on an island. Voldsoy Island is the name of the island. Josh, also known as Torchbearer, is also there. They're walking through the foliage, they're navigating this island, it's full of cute little decorations, it's very fun. And they end up finding a cliff face with a cave, and who's there welcoming them, beckoning them to come inside? It's Ned. It's Ned. Ned. So they walk through these narrow passages of the cave, all the while spitting some fire bars, and they eventually arrive at my personal dream. A bunch of Neds just hanging around a fire. So cute. And then they follow the Ned that initially led them in there, they follow him out a side cave, and they meet Ned on a beach. And Ned goes to Clancy, he has these nice antlers, and he rips them off and hands them to Clancy, giving Clancy the power of psychokinesis. So the Neds begin kind of performing the motions for this psychokinesis, and Clancy follows along with the antlers, and turns out he's able to seize Keon's body, because Keon's was just murdered, so now he's an available body, a vessel that can be used. So Clancy takes over Keon's body, and you'll never guess what he does with the body. He makes him do a little dance. After he does a little dance, he knocks over one of the 9 lights that represent the bishops, and the place catches on blue fire, and then Keon's falls to the ground. Clancy's not seizing him anymore. He's dead again. We cut back to Clancy. He does a signal from across the strait, across the water, to the banditos on the other side where Trench is, and they do a little symbol back, and we see behind them in the distance the blue fire of the city being lit ablaze. Very symbolic. We also get a cute little nod to the Nico and the Niners video, with the 2 bandits that we see receiving and returning the symbol being the grown-up versions of the children that we see at the end of the Nico and the Niners video. After seeing Tyler rebelling and going against Dima, they grew up to do the same and become banditos. It's a very wholesome thing to see that, yes, those kids got out. We're very happy. Great. And meanwhile, the Dima website that we talked about before with all the pictures and maps and letters and things is still being updated. We got a letter from Clancy talking about his experience taking over Keon's and how it made him feel, how he felt strange having this power. And basically this is the first time that Clancy is figuring out that the bishops do take over dead bodies, that he now has this power that they were rumored to have, that he didn't think they actually had, and they do have it, and now he knows. So this is a big moment for Clancy boy, and now he has this dark power, and he feels conflicted about it. And that's the end of the Scaled and Icy era. Goodbye, Scaled and Icy. Welcome back, Trench Part 2. Welcome back to Trench. I did want to let you guys know that I just went to Texas Roadhouse after filming that stuff, and I've just gotten home, and I noticed that my other earring, is gone. So you got to see it in its final hours. I am devastated. So now that we're done with Scaled and Icy, that brings us back to the present Clancy era coming soon. We recently learned about Clancy. Since I started filming this, we've actually gotten another video, so I've been slacking with finishing this. Oops. We've got the Overcompensate music video, and we've got the Next Semester music video. The album is coming very soon. Maybe when you're watching this, the album is already out. Is it good? Drop a comment down below. Engage with my video, please. But my predictions for the Clancy era, mostly just based on the Overcompensate video, is that we're gonna kind of get the bad side of Clancy, which I think is exciting. And I'm not the only one saying this. The reason I'm saying this is in the Overcompensate video, we see that Clancy is now taking over bodies to coach the citizens of Dima and kind of teach them what's going on, get them out, get them against the bishops, which sounds like a good thing, but we're still kind of up in the air about Tyler using his, like, antler power and the moral implications of that, so that's already kind of sketchy. He talked about how he felt weird about it in the letters. We also can see from the name of the song, Overcompensate, basically what's happening, he's overcompensating. He's kind of running in blind, he's throwing caution to the wind, he's not really thinking through what he's doing. I just think Clancy's in his blinded by revenge, reckless era right now. Oh, also, did I mention that Josh isn't real? So there's a little bit of a theory that Josh isn't actually there. In the Overcompensate music video, we see that Josh is drumming and being cool, like inside of Dima, where Tyler has taken over a body, Josh is there drumming, but then Josh is also there drumming with Tyler on the Voldzoi, however you say it, island. So people are like, Josh isn't real because he can't be in two places at once, he's just a figment of the story. He's a non-diegetic being. He's just not actually there, he's just in the videos to, like, drum for us. So some people claim that Josh, also known as Torchbearer, is just another one of the elements in the whole Tyler, Blurryface, Bishops, Clancy, all of the things, you know how they're all one thing and then they're all separate things at the same time. People think that Josh / Torchbearer is also one of those things, and he kind of acts as a spirit guide for Clancy / Tyler. He's there for him, he leads him through this, he's just kind of a support. It's kind of like in the My Blood music video, which we haven't talked about, because it's not really in the storyline, but it features a guy and his brother, and it kind of shows them doing things, and then it's revealed at the end that it was just the one guy all along, and there was no brother. Basically, the guy is like, actually, you know what? I never existed. And then he just goes on to not exist, and we love that for him. So, people are saying that's Josh. He's not real, he's just Tyler's imagined buddy. If you take this too literally within the story, saying that he doesn't exist, it kind of gets messed up by the Ned's Cozy Fireplace letter in the background. Cutest letter of all time, I love the Neds. It mentions seeing Tyler and Torchbearer, so clearly the Neds see him. He's proven real, at least to the Neds. But it's fun to think that Josh doesn't exist. I'm a big fan of Josh Isn't Real. A torchbearer is considered someone who leads and inspires people, helps push them to their goal. In the Overcompensate video, Josh is wearing a scarf that says torchbearer in Ukrainian. So Josh is there to kind of inspire Tyler/Clancy to fight his demons, support him through these mental struggles, just be a good pal. There's also a theory that kind of seems like it comes out of nowhere that says that Clancy is Andre's son. Andre is one of the 9 bishops. If you'll recall earlier when I was talking about the original things on the Demo website, there was kind of a random picture of a child. That child is the son of Andre Weir, something like that, who is one of the original members of the actual real-life Nicholas Bourbaki math group. So the son of Andre is in the Demo website. Could Clancy also be the son of this Andre? That's all there is to the theory. I don't think there's anything else to back it up. But it's a thought that people have had, and I know earlier I just kind of acted like it was a random child because it was funny, but I did want to say that there is a little bit of a tie-in. Like, it's not just a random child, there's a connection with the child. I don't remember putting this, but in my notes I refer to Clancy as the McDonald's era because it's red and yellow. So if you want to start calling it the McDonald's era, there you go. The new song Overcompensate references a dangerous bend symbol. The dangerous bend symbol is a street sign that indicates a dangerous bend up ahead. I'm sure you couldn't figure that one out. I'm happy to help. Now you know. It's a sign of an upcoming danger, it's a sign of a change in direction, and it's a sign that was invented by the Nicholas Bourbaki math group. So for a really long time, people were set on the idea that Clancy was not Tyler. And the reason for that is that in some of the Clancy letters, Clancy talks about Tyler as if he's a different person. So he talks, I saw this guy in the trench, like he's not talking about himself, it's someone else. But this has kind of been debunked. It's sort of in the same way that, like, the bishops are also Blurryface, in the same way Clancy is also Tyler. It's just a separate part of Tyler, but it's still Tyler. They're all the same entity. So it's a little confusing still, but they're, I think, the same person. Pretty sure. The song Bandito has a lyric that says, I created this world to feel some control, destroy it if I want. And this was again sampled in their new track Overcompensate, which I think is Tyler saying, I made this whole Dema Trench everything thing to kind of explore my inner mind and feel like I have more control over myself, my world, my perception. It's just kind of an overarching statement that summarizes Trench nicely, I think. So lyrically and from the music video, Overcompensate gives a pretty unsettling vibe. It's almost like Clancy is showing a dark side of himself. He's controlling the vessels just like the bishops did, which is already weird. Which he's talked about his feelings about how that's a morally gray, unethical thing to do. And he almost has this overconfident attitude going on. Overconfident, overcompensate. He's flying by the dangerous bend symbol, which, as I've said, means danger ahead. So he's just zooming past that. Like, imagine you're driving down the road and you see a sign that says there's going to be a sharp turn and you just keep flying. That's what Clancy's doing right now. He's being very reckless. The man's been through trauma and he's not responding well. He says that he doesn't hesitate to overcompensate. So he's going to go hard on these bishops. He's going to show no mercy. Maybe it's a reference to, like, the cycle of abuse. Like, now that I've been abused, I'm gonna be the abuser. Like, I don't know. I just feel like this album, at least part of this album, is gonna be about the dark side of Clancy, the dark side of the light side of the Dema situation. It's a fun little thing. It's super deep. Really deep and cool. In one of the letters, Clancy says, this dark little island has turned me into a weapon. So I guess that's cool. Like, before this, Clancy was kind of shown as just a quiet guy who just wanted to get out, but now he's got this confidence, he's got this swagger, he's being a leader for real. Like, we're getting a very new side of Clancy for this album, named Clancy. I did see some theories that Tyler was gonna take over Trash and rock Dima's shit, which I hope so. That sounds awesome, but I don't think that's where we're going, because, you know, Trash is already dead at the bottom of the sea. Like, he's already been used. I think it's a little too late to take over Trash, but that would be amazing. Bring back Trash. 2K24, thank you. Ahead of the Clancy album announcement, 21 Pilots put out a video titled I Am Clancy. It's a video that just kind of catches you up really briefly on the lore to catch up for the new album. If you would like to give that a watch, I would highly recommend watching that before listening to the new album, before jumping into that stuff, if you haven't seen it yet. It's mostly stuff that I have included in this video, but it's condensed very nicely. It's very straightforward, to the point, what's going on. I would super recommend it. It's like 4 minutes of very condensed lore. And it does a very good job, and I'm happy for you, and watch it. That's really all that I have to say on 21 Pilots for now. If you would like some more content, maybe some content about 21 Pilots outside of this lore, or maybe after Clancy comes out, I could talk about the Clancy album and the music videos that come with that, because apparently we're getting a music video for every single song on Clancy, which is so exciting. So let me know if you like this, if you want more. I take requests, I say with my one video. Truly, engage with the video and I will engage with you. I got a dog during the making of this video. His name is Tofu. Here he is. He's my little boy. Tofu. The people love you. The people will love you. They will. If you're a real one, you'll learn the overcompensate dance. I'm gonna learn the overcompensate dance. I'll include it. Feel some control, destroying the sound. Prodigal's done running. Don't bite me! You're biting me! What? We're dancing! Maybe overcompensate. Dangerous, dancing. You don't hesitate. That maybe overcompensate. By the time I catch you, my words don't hesitate. Maybe overcompensate. So I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into 21 Pilots lore. It was a lot of fun to put together. I've never really done anything like this before. It was cool. So, hope you liked it. Peace and love. Have a nice day. Have a nice night. Have a nice time. I hope your life is going wonderfully right now. If it's not, I still love you. If Clancy hasn't come out yet for you, I hope you're getting very hype. I hope this got you excited for it. And if Clancy has come out, I hope you loved it. I hope it's as fun as we all want it to be. I'm super excited. 21 Pilots has not let me down yet. Peace out! Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you!